Hey there, and welcome back over here to my kitchen. I am so excited to be sharing this video with you. I'm going to be showing you how to cook up eggs in new ways. You might not even know some of these recipes exist until today. They're so easy to throw together and they are delicious. So let's head over to my kitchen and let's start cooking. To get us started today, we are going to be making these amazing ham and cheese egg cups. So to my muffin tin, you're going to want to spray it with plenty of some nonstick spray. After you're finished with that, you're going to pull your ham out. I'm using honey ham for this recipe, but you could really use any type of ham you like. You're going to add about 1 to 2 pieces of ham inside of these egg cups, just depending on how thick your ham is. Since my ham was super thin, I added about 1.5 slices of ham, but again, if your ham's thicker, you only really need 1 slice of ham. So after I'm through with that, you're going to add a little bit of cheese to the bottom of your egg cups and then add 1 egg in each of the cups. This recipe is seriously easy cheesy. I'm just sprinkling the top of the eggs with a little salt and pepper now. These are going to bake in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 12 to 15 minutes or until the eggs are cooked to the way that you like them to be. Here's the finished product. These egg cups are so good. I really enjoy meal prepping these for the entire week or making them for friends if they are in need of a breakfast. This egg in a hole toast recipe is seriously so much fun to throw together. My family really enjoys making it. I have a slice of some sourdough bread right here. I'm just going to be cutting out the center of it with this snowflake cookie cutter. You could use any type of bread you like though, like multigrain, Texas toast, whatever you like. And then for the cookie cutter, of course, if you don't have a snowflake cookie cutter, you could use the rim of a glass or just cut out the center of your bread with a knife. So now over to my pan. I just melted down 1/2 tablespoon of butter and I'm just adding my bread in, and I'm going to be cracking an egg inside of the center of the hole that we cut out in the bread. I'm just going to season it with salt and pepper and cook my egg to the way that I like it to be cooked. Here is my finished egg in a hole toast, and it is just so good. I really think you'd love this recipe. I also love how simple it is to make, so I don't have to make toast in the morning and eggs in the morning, 2 separate things. It's kind of just one thing all together. There you go, there's your breakfast. These omelet stuffed peppers are extremely filling, and this is another one of those recipes that I really do enjoy meal prepping. I'm just cooking up my pound of sausage right now in my pan. You only need a cup of cooked sausage for this recipe. The reason I cooked up the full pound of sausage though is so I could use it for a dinner a little bit later in the week. But now that my sausage is cooked, if you've seen any of my other videos, you've probably seen me do this, but now I'm just removing any excess grease with a paper towel, and it just works like a charm for me. At this point, you'll want to crack 7 eggs into a medium-sized bowl. The last of the ingredients I'm adding into these eggs is just 1/4 cup of milk, 1 cup of some Colby Jack cheese, and the cup of cooked up sausage, and I'm just going to whisk this together. Over to my bell peppers. I have 3 peppers right here, a yellow one, red one, and an orange one. You could use any color bell peppers you like though, but you just see me taking off the stems and then taking the center out of the bell peppers. You do want to be careful because you don't want to make any holes in your bell peppers or the eggs will go through while they're baking in the oven. I placed my peppers in a 9x13 baking dish, added 1/4 cup of water, and these are going to bake in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 5 minutes to start getting them soft. After those 5 minutes, I'm just going to be pouring the egg mixture that we made up inside of the peppers. You don't want to overfill your peppers because, again, the egg mixture will fall out while baking. Bake this in your 400 degree oven for about 35 to 40 minutes or until they are cooked through like this. Like I said previously, I really love meal prepping these peppers, so when we don't eat them all in the first couple of days, I stick them in my freezer, and whenever I want one for breakfast in the morning, I pull one out and stick it in my microwave. There you go, you have a very easy breakfast. This recipe is also great because you could put whatever filling inside of the bell peppers you enjoy. If you know me, you know that I am quesadilla crazy. I love quesadillas so much. So now I'm going to be showing you the ultimate breakfast quesadilla. I have a medium-sized flour tortilla. I just added a little bit of some Colby Jack cheese to that tortilla. I have 2 scrambled eggs that I'm adding on top of the cheese at this point. Next, you could add whatever toppings you like. I love adding some green onions that I cut up with some cooked crumbled bacon as well. Those are my favorite toppings, but again, you could add whatever toppings you enjoy to your breakfast quesadilla. Lastly, I'm adding more Colby Jack cheese on top with an additional medium-sized flour tortilla. Bring this over to your stove with a half a tablespoon of melted butter and cook this quesadilla up. Here is my breakfast quesadilla. I really enjoy making these quesadillas. If I don't make them for breakfast on busy nights when I don't quite know what I'm doing for dinner, I like to make these just because they're super filling, delicious, and then my entire family loves them, especially my little toddler, Brinley. If you've never made these sheet pan eggs before, I definitely recommend you making them. I could probably give you 50 different reasons why I love them so much. But to my sheet pan, I'm generously drizzling it with some olive oil, and then I'm going to brush the olive oil all over with a brush. This is going to be placed in a preheated oven to 425 degrees, and that will be in the oven for about 15 minutes. This is going to make this pan super duper hot, and it will make it so it is non-stick because you really don't want your eggs sticking to the pan. So now that my pan is out of the oven, I'm just going to be cracking my 12 eggs on it. As you see, I accidentally broke one of the yolks in one of the eggs, and I was mad at myself because I was trying not to do that. But this is going to bake in your oven for 5 to 10 minutes or until the eggs are cooked to the way that you like them to be. On this particular day, I served my eggs with some toast. I also seasoned the eggs with a little bit of some salt and pepper. Like I said before, I could give you so many reasons why I like making these sheet pan eggs. There is very minimal mess. You can make them for a bunch of people, or again, you could meal prep these eggs so easily. Now we're making these hash brown egg cups, and this is a recipe that you cannot knock until you try. It is so good. So I have 3 cups of shredded hash browns right here. They are completely thawed out, so they're no longer frozen. So to my muffin tin, I'm adding about 1/4 cup of those defrosted hash browns inside of each of those cups. I did spray my pan with some nonstick spray first. After I was through pressing the hash browns down with the bottom of my cup, I'm going to be sprinkling plenty of some salt and pepper on top of those, and then spraying the tops of the hash browns with some of this oil spray. This is going to bake in my preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 12 minutes. Here they are out of the oven. The tops are starting to get nice and crisp. Now you'll want to make a well inside of each of these hash brown cups and then drop an egg inside of each of them. I'm just sprinkling a little bit more salt and pepper to the very top. If you want to, you could also sprinkle some crushed red pepper flakes to the top. This is going to bake on 400 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes or until the whites are set. Here's the finished product. These are great paired with hot sauce, salsa, or with whatever you want to pair them with. I used to make these all of the time when I would travel pretty far for work in the mornings just because these are a perfect handheld breakfast. I love the simplicity of these German pancakes, so now that's what we're making. I have a 9x13 baking dish right here. You're going to want to add 5 tablespoons of butter to that baking dish. Then you're going to place this in an oven that is preheating to 425 degrees to melt the butter. While our butter is in the oven melting away, I'm going to work on the rest of the ingredients. So I just have my blender right here, or you could use a food processor. I definitely suggest using one of the two because if you try to mix this by hand, it might not bubble up properly in the oven, so it would probably be flat in the end. So I definitely suggest using a blender or a food processor. To my blender, I added a cup of flour, 6 eggs, a cup of milk, a teaspoon of some vanilla extract, and a dash of salt. I do want to mention that I have all of these recipes linked in my website in my description box of this video. So if you want the proper measurements, they are all going to be there. They are also printable recipes there, so just to let you know. But anyways, now that I blended that all together and my butter is melted from the oven, I added that in, and this is going to go back in the oven for about 25 minutes or until it looks something like this. I always sprinkle some powdered sugar over mine and serve it with some fresh berries. I also drizzle maple syrup over the top. This is such a good breakfast or a dessert. However you choose to eat it, it is great. That is a wrap for today. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you found an egg recipe that you might be able to make for yourself. As always, if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you here, so go ahead and subscribe down below the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.